Hey guys, good morning. As usual, I'm looking like a crazy person. I just woke up literally like maybe 30 minutes ago. I just spent the last 30 minutes um getting my things together. Together, sorry. Anyone, I'm feeling very tired and I wasn't even gonna show my face at all, but you remember that thing that happened when I first did a live video where it was such a wide scope and like you could see my entire table and not just my focus points? I was wondering if it was happening again today because the second time when I did the cutting of the video of the soap, it didn't happen. So I've just been here trying to understand. So what I decided to do was to do this video the same way I did the cutting of the video, where I kind of talked first and then I adjusted it, like I flipped the camera to just see if that will, correct whatever is happening. If it doesn't, I don't know, I'm just I'm feeling strange this morning. I hope the gods are on my side and my soap doesn't go bad because I'm feeling strange. Anyway, let's talk about the soap. So recently, I'm sure if you've been following me, you kind of know that I've had some life changes and some things that have really been more or less traumatic for me that I just don't talk about, but I do let you guys know that I'm going through stuff. And when I went through all of that, my hair really fell out, which I will talk about on my personal vlog, not here. But the only reason I'm saying it is because while I was searching for what to do to get my hair to grow, I went and found Moringa. Yeah, like Moringa powder. And of course, if you're a soap maker, you know that there's virtually nothing in your kitchen that you have not thought about putting in your soap. And so obviously I started doing the research of putting Moringa powder in my soap. And it turns out a lot of people even do it. They use it to color their soap green. I don't know. Will it actually color my soap green? I hope so, but let's see. Let's see how it turns out. People do use it, and moringa powder is actually really good for acne. And if you know me, once I hear anything that like helps with acne, that's like something that gives me joy. And so obviously I'm going to pair it with my most powerful ingredient, honey. Yes, I love honey in soap. It's so good in soap and it's good for the skin. Remember, I always tell you guys, look at my skin now. Like, seriously, my life changed when I started using soap, natural soap. So, guys, I'm going to be doing a goat milk because since I've been making soap, I found that the best soap for my face, and I hope it's the same for my customers, the best soap for my face is my goat milk soaps. I love my goat milk soaps on my face. And so what I do is I actually use goat milk soaps on my face and I use every other soap on my body. Like that's what I do. So with this soap, I'm going to be making it goat milk, honey, and moringa, or goat milk, moringa, and honey soap. I'm going to try to be more generous with my honey because I really do try to stick to that 1%, but I don't know why I do. So I'm going to just try to be a little more generous with the honey. And I will also be generous with the moringa because unlike say something like turmeric, moringa is not going to burn your skin. I heard that it lightens dark spots too. And there's all these dark spots that I want to lighten. So this is a really good soap that I want to try. So guys, let's get on with it. I just hope that my setting is not going to be weird. If it is, I do apologize in advance. And yeah, I've pre-measured everything, so hopefully I'm not going to be taking 50 whole minutes of your time. Trust me, I value your time. I'm not that So let's get to setting up, guys. So how do we flip again? Okay, so we flip here. Can you see that thing is happening? Can I zoom in? Oh, yes, I can zoom in. That is the secret, guys. Okay, this makes my life easy. So since I can zoom in, let's just place that on the tripod. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. How do I zoom out now? Looks like I zoomed in, but now I can't zoom out. Okay, let's... What you're seeing there is lard. Okay. It zooms in, like once I do a little tiny pinch, it zooms in a lot. I don't know why it does that. Like that's a huge zoom right there. And once I do a little tiny pinch, it zooms out. It's like there's no in between. Every day I struggle with one thing or another on this live chat. Okay, I think this is perfect for me. YouTube needs to make this a little more user friendly. Oh, Let's move this a little upward. Yeah, I think this is perfect because this is a long bowl. I really need to buy some new bowls that will be more convenient. So these are my hard oils. What I have in there are there's a lard, there is shea butter, and there is cocoa butter in here. So I'm going to take this away now and melt it down and move on with the rest of the process with you guys. So let's put this in here. I'm melting it in the microwave. So the next thing I'm doing is measuring out some citric acid. And if you already know, actually, let me measure out the water first. Very, very little water. So my total water amount is 197 grams. So I'm just going to do about 15 grams of water because I'm trying to dissolve about 12 grams of citric acid. So that's 16.1, not too bad. Let's take it up a little bit. Although the more water, the warmer my goat milk turns out. And then we tare that. And then this is citric acid. Citric acid helps with soap scum. I mean, it's pretty hard to get rid of soap scum, but it does help. It does help, trust me. So we need 12.6 grams of citric acid. We're at, oh, I've gone above, but that's okay. So that's 13.2 grams. So I was just thinking about something the other day. Soap makers, like when I was learning to make soap, a lot of soap makers would emphasize on the fact that your measurements need to be exact. And while I agree, I've come to disagree over time. I think the focus is what exactly are you trying to measure? So what should be exact? So say for example, the lye. I think the only thing you should be there are two things you should be concerned about. The first one is your lye. Your lye should not be too much. So that's one thing that you want to be careful with. And then the second thing is your oils should also not be too much or obviously too little. So what I mean by that is if you have way too much oil, you could just end up with a soap that's floating with oil, right? It's just not going to be right. It's going to be very imbalanced. So while, yes, you want to, so why I disagree with them is, yes, you don't want to have a soap that's imbalanced, but at the same time, going slightly over with your oils, especially if your super fat is not too high, because I've noticed some people do super fats that are up to 10% and all of that. If you kind of keep your super fat low, like say in single, like below like 5%, you don't have to be so afraid of going, a little higher, just a little higher with your oils, because as long as if the oil is slightly more, that just adds to your super fat. So that's a good thing. The only thing that is scary is having too much lye. And so I think that's where, the focus should be placed. It's not really about the oils. So don't be too afraid if you're going slightly over. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, it doesn't really make, I've gone over before. There was even a time, remember when my spatula, I left it in and I did not tear, and like my measurement with my coconut oil was way off. But trust me, that soap still turned out perfect because, I just decided to just put a little more oil just to make sure. Okay, so I have just I've dissolved my citric acid. So the next thing I'm going to do is, let's check on the hard oils first. So that still needs a little more time. So the next thing I'm going to do is get with making my ice bath first. So this morning I'm feeling tired. I don't know why. Because I slept very well. I think I slept really, really well. So I don't know why I'm just feeling really tired. I guess it's because the entire week I've been like a machine, like doing everything. And that's why it's kind of hard now for me to put up videos, because I'm not even finding time. Like, I have videos for my personal vlog that I recorded, but I haven't even had the time to edit them. So, like, it's just because I did a vlog for my child's birthday, I did a vlog for his first day at school. I just haven't been able to edit them. I haven't been able to make a soap, one of those ones where I have a voiceover on the video, and that's just because I don't have time to edit. And that's why I thought to also start doing live videos, because I just felt, you know what, I'm not sure I have the time to edit. I've just, my hands are so full, just doing everything. Guys, let me tell you how my I would say schedule, how my schedule works every day. So my day usually starts off at like 5 a.m. That's just because I have to prepare breakfast for my child. And my child has some challenges, so he's very, very picky with his food. And so I usually have to prepare about 3 different meals in the mornings. And I cannot prepare anything like a day before, because some people try to suggest to me, oh, just cook like on Saturdays, and then on weekdays, just bring it out the fridge and warm it. But no, it doesn't, it's not that straightforward with my child. So I literally have to make everything on the spot. So I wake up at 5 a.m. and I start doing that while he's still asleep. And then I wake him up at 6 a.m. And then I get him ready for school. Like, I, do the normal things to get him prepared. And then I usually have to leave out about 30 minutes for him to eat. And so I try to feed him for 30 minutes. And, for him to eat, that's me having to try to feed him. He's just not, I don't know, he doesn't like to eat by himself. He's still not there yet. So I always have to do that. Okay. So before I continue with this one, our hard oils are melted. So let me just actually get this done. So now this is my coconut oil. I'm going to add that to the hard oils. And my coconut oil should be, let's see. So the hard oils will melt the coconut oil. So guys, I was saying, so then I feed him, and then I have to rush and take him to school. School starts at about 7:30 for him. And then his school is like 20 minutes away from me. So I drive 20 minutes to school and then drive 20 minutes home. Good thing is I work from home. That's the only good thing I think that came out of the pandemic. That's remote jobs. So I work from home. So I come back home and immediately start working at 8 a.m. I usually don't even have time to eat breakfast. So sometimes I just try to nibble my food while I'm working, which is just a little tough, but it's okay. And then during my break time is at 12. My break time is between 12 and 1. And so what I now do is immediately it's my break time, I just log off and head straight to trying to make sure I'm not missing I head straight to his school to pick him up, because he closes at 12:30. And then I drive back home. And then by the time I'm picking up, I didn't know, this is my first child. I never knew that school pickups could take long, because there's always like a queue, and then, people chat with the teachers and everything. So the pickup is usually a little time wasting for me, with the way people just stay there chatting. So anyway, I usually get home at like 1 p.m. on the dot. And when I get home, I have to log on straight to work. Now, bear in mind that my child just came from school, and so he has to eat at the same time. So I log on. Sometimes I try to just have a snack or something that I know he likes and something he will eat. And then I start to feed him while working. So he stays with me while I'm working. And so I try to feed him while I'm working. And then Guys, it's very hard. I know some people will say, oh, why don't you just get like a nanny or someone? That's if I could afford one, right? In America, things are really expensive. Even a nanny probably earns more than me. So, um, so yeah, I can't afford one. So yeah, I just do that. So he stays with me, and then when he's eating, to be honest with you, because he's so picky, when he's at school, he doesn't eat. So when he comes back, he's always so hungry. And I think he just likes to eat where he's comfortable. And so when he's hungry, he eats anything I give him. That's actually the kind of good thing. It's like a plus because he then eats like anything, and it's not too difficult to feed him at that time. And then he stays with me. Sometimes he'll just, once he's, okay, he'll just take his iPad or something and just go away and go and play. So that's kind of how my schedule works. Bear in mind that I still don't have time to eat myself. And then I finish work at 5 and the day continues. And then at 5, once I'm done, I have to quickly go make dinner. So you see, my schedule is so weird. I start making dinner, I cook, and then we eat, and then I go give him a bath. I go have my own bath because, guys, bear in mind, in everything I said, I did not mention a bath. Oh, let's measure the soft oils. I go have my own bath as well, and then it's time to sleep. So literally from morning till night, I'm just moving like a machine. Spatula in. I've teared. Don't worry, guys. I'm not making that mistake. It's been teared. So let's measure. This is olive oil. So, okay, it's the dot more. Okay, that's almost. Let's keep going. A little more. That's perfect. Slightly, very slightly over, but it's okay. It's like 0.2 over. That's like nothing. That's what I mean. Like, don't be too afraid with your skill. Like, I'm not saying you should go way over with oils, but you can. It just adds to your super fat. It doesn't really harm the soap. You're not doing anything excessive. So the next thing I'm adding is my avocado oil, which is only a little, not too much. It just adds to the luxury of my soaps. That's why I like avocado oil. It's just the luxurious kind of oil. Gives your soap that extra, I should be a marketer. Gives it that extra. So yeah, again, I went slightly over with my avocado oil, but I don't mind. Remember, like I said, my super fat is actually 3%. But it's very, very slightly over, like 1 gram over, so it's not a big deal. So the next one is my castor oil. And that's, let's see. Okay. Have you seen where soap makers try to avoid bubbles? That I actually admire that level of, should I say, meticulousness. Because, man, it takes a lot of patience to be fighting against things like bubbles. It's just, to me, I'm just like, I don't have that time. Like, really. I understand the aesthetics, but it's just too much stress for me. Like, why am I fighting bubbles? Bubbles of all things. I need to just breathe. Like if you're so concerned about bubbles, you need to breathe. That's like the least problem in a soap, in my opinion. I've never had any customer or anybody at all say your soap has bubbles. I don't like it. Anyway, so we measured the castor oil. Guys, let me take all these oils off the table just so that it's not making me confused. Let's do that. Okay, so now I think all of our oils are measured. So there's avocado, castor, coconut, cocoa butter. This is how I just ensure that I'm not forgetting something. Lard, olive oil, and shea butter. So this is complete. So now we're just going to let this cool off. Before we do, let's check the temperature. Let's see where it's at. 100. That is not too bad at all. So let's just keep this aside. Who's here? If you're here, say hi. Let me know who, you know, who's here with me. What should we measure now? Goat milk. Let's do it here. So the goat milk, I will make. We need about 180 grams of goat's milk. So let's put that one first. This should do. And let's put this one next. That's 140 something. Let me put this slightly smaller one. Although it's not so small, but it's smaller, so it's okay. Guess what, guys? This is 206 grams. Again, it's okay. Do you know why? Because I make my light concentration very high, so it's 40%. And what that just means is my light concentration, let's put this here. You guys can still see it, it's in view. My light concentration is, I'm now wearing gloves because I'm about to handle the lye. So my light concentration is so high because with goat milk, you see, I freeze them. And so sometimes I'm likely to go over with the goat milk quantity. By the way, the goat milk replaces water. And so because I'm likely to go over, you know, I just make my light concentration really high. So now we're going over, it's probably like 35% or something. So it's not too bad. So we're going to, oh, before I do that, I need my goggles. Where are my goggles? Protect your eyes. If you don't protect anything, make sure to protect your eyes, please. You only have a pair of eyes. So let's start with, oh, and today I'm wearing long sleeves. Isn't that cool? I never wear long sleeves. It's my pajamas. Okay, so our lye is 131.6 grams. So let's go. Oh, did you guys just see what happened? It literally just poured out. So what I have there is actually way more than I need. So let's pour that back. Way more. Like I told you, if there's anything you don't want to make a mistake on, it's actually the measurement of the lye. It's not anything else. Imagine having a very lye heavy soap. So just burn you. Like burn your skin. And you see the way that thing poured out there? That's one of the reasons why you should wear goggles, because you can imagine if that splashed like somehow into my eyes. And you know, with the eyes, that's a real, I would have had to call emergency, right? So no, I'm not even ready for that at all. I will never be ready for that. If there's anything I protect, it's my eyes. Okay, so 131. Can you see how much more I put? It just poured like boom. 131. So this is 132. So we need 131.6. Order measuring the other way around. Like I'm taking it out. This is 131.4. 5, 6. Okay. Well, 131.7 is not too bad because we already know I've been going over with my oils anyway. So, right. So now let's begin what we all love. I don't know who else doesn't love this, or I don't know who else loves this, but I love this part. I really like mixing the lye into the goat milk. It's just satisfying. It's one of those oddly satisfying things for me, to be honest with you. You know what I think I'm forgetting, and I'm going to do it before I do forget? My honey. Let's mix that up in here. I won't mix it. I'll just pour it first so that at least it's in there. So remember I said I want to be generous with honey. Somebody had given me some advice about my honey crystallizing, but I'll take it when I have the time. Right now I'm still I'm gonna take it, but I've just not had, like I said, you guys heard my schedule, right? On my schedule. I haven't had the time for anything. So I'm still using this one. So I'm just trying to add more and more. It's coming out so slowly. This video might be longer than I thought it would be. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it, guys. Oh, press. Okay, we'll add a little more. I think this is generous enough, to be honest, because you don't want to put too much. Sometimes that's the mistake people make. They put too much honey and then the soaps end up like, because honey does make your soap get so much warmer, so it can volcano. Anyway, so that I'll leave that one. Let's work on this. Okay. You have to go slowly, but I find that in the beginning you can kind of brush it, I think. Remember, my goal is always to make my goat milk as creamy as possible. So let's see if we can achieve that today. The last time I made goat milk soap on here, I achieved it. Let's see if we can do it again today. To make it creamy, you just have to keep everything as cool as possible. That's why we need the ice bath. The ice bath to stop it from warming up too fast. And you see, once you use ice to dissolve your lye, it's not as toxic as when you use just water, because when you use water, and by the way, it's not really quite toxic, because I've done the chemical I can be very geeky. I've done the chemical formula for it, and I realized that the gas that's given off when you mix sodium hydroxide and water is actually hydrogen. Maybe I need to do a little more research, but hydrogen is naturally occurring. It's in the air, right? So it's I don't know just how toxic it will be to you on its own, because obviously when hydrogen is, the hydrogen molecules are with, say, oxygen, and in forms of water, that's very different from when hydrogen is on its own as an element. So I don't really know. So maybe I just need to do more research on that. I've forgotten all the chemistry involved. But I know that hydrogen gas is what's given off. And I don't think it's, well, I don't know. I'm not saying you should go inhaling it just because it's hydrogen gas. Please don't. Please don't. Do not. However, it's not really some gas that's going to just kill you. So that's all I want you to know. It's not something that's going to end your life. You know what I mean? Like, the way soap makers make soap making look scarier. I think they do it intentionally to discourage new people. Maybe they know that, because soap making to me is a basic skill. In the past, it was a basic skill. Anybody can make soap. And I think people naturally have this feeling of they don't want competition. They don't want anybody else learning. So they do all these things and say all these things to try to scare you. Oh my gosh, before you make soap, you have to do tons of research. It is the most dangerous process. I'm sorry. Soap has been made since the Bible ages, the Bible times. People have been using lye and soap. It's really not that big a deal. Trust me. If they could use it, 1,000 years ago, you're in 2022, guys. AD, you're in 2022. You have the internet, you have so many things now. Soap making is the most basic skill today. Trust me. If you're interested, it's really not that hard. Don't be scared though. Don't let soap makers scare you. They'll be like, oh my god, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's really not that serious. It's really not that serious. Trust me. It's not that serious. They're just trying to deter you from joining. They don't want you to enjoy what they're enjoying. But the sky is big enough for everybody, so please make sure to join. Guys, you guys are seeing the silly side of me. Make sure to make soap if you want to learn. The sky is big enough for everyone. I don't know why people do that. It's like, don't you want other people to learn? On soap making groups, you should hear how they talk. I find it very disturbing. And I'm happy I actually learned how to make soap before I even joined the group, because if I had joined the group before I learned, I probably wouldn't have learned, because I would have just been so scared to even start. You know, it's not that serious. And that's why even on my videos, you see me encouraging new soap makers to even do designs, because that's what they do. They try to discourage you from doing designs. But once you've made a soap or two, I'm sure you can do a design. All you need to do is start understanding the technique. You know, if you're artsy, especially, some people don't really like all the artisan things, and that's also fine. That's also fine. They don't have to do artisan stuff. You know, you can make, like, this is not an artisan soap. This is really just a soap that's more functional. You know, I'm making it for acne. I want to see if it's going to help my acne. And I know they also will tell you, oh, don't promote soaps for anything. I'm not promoting soaps for anything. I'm only saying what I will use it for. So if you want to use it for that, that's, you know, that's up to you too. So yeah, you can use the soap just to clean your body and also get the benefits, or you can, you know, anyways, that's enough of me ranting. I'm sorry, this is like the slowest process of everything, but trust me, once this is over, everything moves fast. I know that the goat milk melting can be really, it can be a really slow process. Guys, can you see how creamy this still is? It's still not yellow or anything. That's the secret. That's the secret. Use an ice bath. Make sure to use an ice bath. If you don't use an ice bath, it will turn yellow. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pour the rest of the lye. I know what I just did now is risky. It's probably going to turn yellow on me. But let's just stir very fast. It's turning slightly yellow, but it's still very creamy. It's not as yellow as it can be. Just slightly yellow. The faster you stir, the cooler it gets. So that's why I'm stirring so fast. Let me rinse this cup. I like to rinse my lye cups. Okay. Right, let's keep going. I think that's all dissolved now. Turning very slightly yellow, but that's okay. 96 degrees. To be honest with you, usually I try to keep it below 90 degrees. That's when it doesn't turn yellow. But this is fine too. My impatience. But it's okay. Look at this, is still very creamy. I'm just extra picky about little things. So it's time to dissolve this, and I actually want to use, which spoon now? Okay, I'll use this one. Oh no, I won't. Let's get another spoon. Something to stir that. I'll just use this. Oh no, I'm not using the spatula. Let's use this. This makes more sense. So this is still going to be blended in the mix, so it's not as bad. Guys, this is probably going to be my next best soap after oatmeal and honey soap. Oh, and by the way, this is unscented. Remember, when I make facial soaps, I don't like to use fragrances. So this is going to be unscented as well. And so now let's move on to the fun bits. I was gonna add some sodium lactate to this just because I have the rest of this container. So it's not even up to anything, but it's something. So and then okay, so let's get mixing. So now we have our oil here, and I am going to go ahead and put, this is about a tablespoon of moringa. I think I'll put more, to be honest. I want to be very generous. I don't want to be, this is about a tablespoon. This is what I used in taking my picture for my thumbnail. And let's add a bit more. So this is now about 2 tablespoons of moringa. Can you see the moringa powder? It's so lovely, isn't it? It's very good for the hair, especially African hair. It's good to like make your own DIY conditioner. Don't know what I'm talking about hair. Let's leave that talk for my personal vlog. So I'm going to now go in and let's stir it first because I don't want it to splash. So let's blend. So this is supposed to help it incorporate. To be honest, it may look green or colors may change. I really don't know how the color is going to be different when the soap comes out tomorrow, but we're gonna come back live and show you guys. I'll show you guys how it turns out. But let's keep going and see what the lye is going to do to this, because I'm curious. I've never done this before, and honestly, yes, I did some research about it, but I did not really watch any soap videos with moringa, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I know that some people make their soaps green with moringa. I believe so. People use it as a natural colorant. So I don't know if you saw, I added my citric acid and honey already. Guys, look what impatience does. My goat milk still turned a little yellow, but that's okay. That's because I was impatient. I was impatient because I'm being cautious of the time. I don't like live videos that go on for way too long. I mean, except it's teaching something. If it's teaching something, then that's fine. But I'm teaching something. So I think there's an excuse for me too. Okay, so now the lye is in. The goat milk and lye is in. So let's blend and see. That's a beautiful green right there. Looks like olive green. Very, very lovely. I am loving it already. I am wanting to use it already. But let's keep going. That honey in this soap is also just going to add to the beauty of this soap in terms of its benefits for the skin and for acne. Like, I mean this soap, I am formulating it just to see how well it's going to work on my face. I don't know if it's my recipe, but nowadays it takes a while for my soaps to trace. Like, it's not tracing, it's just, so light. And when I was first learning to do designs, I would just do and my soap would just trace when I'm trying to do a design. But now that I'm like not trying to do a design, it's not tracing. Well, but I do like my recipe. I guess it's a good recipe for my designs and stuff. And maybe it's because I soaped at cooler temperatures, clearly. I'm trying to get it to a relatively thick trace so that I can do a nice design. It's still olive green. I wonder what color it's going to turn out tomorrow. Do you guys know? Has anybody ever made moringa soup? Can you comment what you think it will be? Okay, I think that's okay. It's okay. It's not as thick as I want, but I think it's okay. Let's have one less thing to as a soap maker, every soap is precious, including the one on the spatula. I don't know if I'm the only one who does this. When I have, because I usually let my tools sit for a few days before I wash them off. And when I let them sit and I want to wash my hands, I like scoop soap off of my container or something and I use that to wash my hand. Am I the only one that does it? Because I want to use every little soap that's left. I think this is nice and thick enough. Now let's now move on to pouring it. I like how thick it is. So now I can do my texture. Oh, this is just so nice. It looks brownish, but I love it. This is so lovely. I'll keep some for my smaller molds. That's what I like to use for myself. Let's use the heart mold. Let me just, let's see. Oh, this is the thickest soap I've made in a while. Normally my soaps are like light when I pour them, but I like how thick it is. It makes me happy. It's a weird happy vibe I'm getting. Okay. Do you know this spatula is too small? Let's use this one. The scrape, scrape, scrape. Let's pour it in the second place. Guys, I'm telling you, I think I want to really just have a section for facial soaps where I will formulate recipes. Goat milk is so good. I cannot overemphasize it. It is so good. So good. And then once you then add all these other ingredients that have amazing benefits, like some, powders and stuff like oatmeal, honey, in this case, moringa. Guys, I also have fenugreek, which I also bought for my hair. I'm going to figure out if I can use it. Actually, does anybody know? Can I use fenugreek in soap? Let me know what you think. Is fenugreek good? Is fenugreek good for soap? Can you put it in soap and it won't have any weird issues? Let's do some texturing. I want to do something different from the usual. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Well, it's not as bad as I thought. Why am I just drawing an S? Oh, this is so cute. It's very easy to then ruin this. So let me be careful. Because you guys, if you know me already, you know that that's how easily I spoil my soap texture. It would be nice to have something on here. I know what to do. I'm going to put some salt. Hang on. Let's do that. Where's the salt? There. I have some nice decorative looking salt that I can put on here. The salt is scented. So even when my soap is not scented, the salt I'm putting there is scented. Let's put a little more. It looks like a jewelry type of thing. It's just a lovely. Some of these little things you just add on top of soap just create a whole new vibe. What do you guys think? I am literally in love right now. I am in love. I am in love. This is my latest creation, guys. Allow me to present to you my latest creation, Moringa honey and goat milk soap. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we come to the cutting of this soap. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Bye.